hot new topic, modern-day stay-at-home dads. They cook, they clean, they do chores, they take care of the kids, and they earn a paycheck. Even Newsweek is writing about these ultimate husbands who are redefining masculinity, as you can see here in the magazine. We found our own local dad who is a working woman's dream. We know him as Couzin Ed, former radio personality and now on-field announcer for the Eagles, and best of all, daddy to 18-month-old Talulah. Now check out a typical day in the life of this stay-at-home dad. There he is, completely exhausted, awake right now, though. Hi, and it's great to have you with us.
If I could only move that quickly, it'd be a lot easier.
My goodness. What a fantastic opportunity you have to be able to spend with this little girl. It's not easy, though, being a stay-at-home dad, is it?
No, I learned the hard way. You know, I just kind of threw myself into it. It was a privilege that was just, you know, dropped in my lap. I would never change anything for it, but yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of juggling, and it's a lot of getting used to, but I would never change a thing. I mean, the benefits are just overwhelming.
Well, really, though, why no nanny? You have 3 jobs, your wife works?
Because I want me to be the influence on her, and I figure, you know, there's a lot of people out there who have to work 9 to 5 jobs, and I found a way where I didn't, and that's when she's awake, and that's when she's sponging everything in, and I'd rather her get that from me as opposed to someone else, or my wife as opposed to somebody else. You know, I want to be the influence on her.
Okay, but truly. So in the summer, you go out to the park, and there are all these other moms and babysitters with the little children, and they look at you. What do they think about you? Do they question, like, who are you?
Well, initially, you get the, what I call common sense protective look, you know, which is great. You know, the mothers and their kids, like, who's this guy? He's new to the park. Especially when I come to a park at a different time than I usually come to, or I go to a new park. But once they start to see you there, and they can see the way you react with your child, you know, they like me after a couple of days.
Right, and speaking of how you react with children, they've called you the baby whisperer. What's that?
Well, my friends do.
What is that?
My girlfriends, you know, female friends that have kids. When I stopped doing radio, I had a lot of free time. They would just stop. You know, I love kids. I used to be a school bus driver. They dropped their kids off, and I would babysit them. And I would grab their kids if they're crying. They're like, "What did you do? How did you do that?" You know, and it's just, I think it's confidence. You know, if you're confident and the baby feels love from you.
And what do you say?
It's not even saying anything. It's just the way you hold yourself. It's the way you approach the baby. It's the way you pick them up. It's the way you talk to them. You know, and they really can sense, you know, whether you think they can or not. They can sense whether or not you're confident or you love them.
You know, you're certainly a guy's guy with, you know, all the stuff that you do. So what are your buddies saying when you said, I'm going to stay home with Talulah?
Most of them don't razz me. They razz me more for me watching Young and the Restless, you know, during her nap time. But when you meet Talulah, you fall in love, and they understand. They're all big fans. So.
Speaking of meeting Talulah, come on in. This is Ed's wife, and Talulah. Look how beautiful. So, yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for bringing her. Look at this precious little face. What does it mean to have her in your life? Tell me that.
It's the world to me, you know, and I can't thank my wife enough because she's provided me this opportunity. She works during the day, I work at night, and I mean, every day is completely different, and you think you love her this day, and then tomorrow you love her 10 times more. It's just, it keeps growing.
Isn't that great?
It's amazing.
And in a word, how spectacular a dad is he?
He's great. I'm so proud of him.
It's beautiful. And you can see what great love, and she's a natural on television, too. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. We'll have more Talk Philly after this. Talulah, you look great. I love your outfit.